Welcome back again. I often obviously talk about, how fear and anger, aggression and being too timid can obviously, you're less effective. And there's certainly lots of studies. Human Synergistics does a lot of work around this stuff, around people who have an undercurrent of high aggression or people who have a high undercurrent of being too defensive and too withdrawing and not wanting to interact. They tend to be less effective, not just at the workplace, but also in their own lives. Their health is actually lower. They're not as effective interpersonally and with tasks as well. So it's really important that when we're thinking about those things and wanting to be more effective as an individual at work and an individual, with your family and interacting with other people, that you understand that you don't want a defensive mechanism to be the dominating factor in terms of your own personality and how you interact. One of the key things I run when I run team stuff specifically is how we interact with other people. So if I'm a very aggressive person, then my interactions is likely to also have an impact on others, right? So if I'm super aggressive, people will see that aggression, and it can go one of two ways. They can either if they're highly aggressive as well, we'll end up having interactions where we're both potentially aggressive towards each other because that person thinks they need to defend themselves. So they get defensive and their aggression comes out and my aggression will come out as well. And so I'm going to show you this little model here. It's called the dialogue model. It's from a book called Crucial Conversations and How to Have Them. And these authors do an amazing job. There's also two really good articles that they wrote. One's called Silence Kills and the other one is called Dialogue Heals. And the importance of that is showing you how people who are more effective communicate better. And part of that is because of not allowing that aggression or fear to hold you back even in interactions. And that's one of the reasons that people are less effective if they have high aggression or they are too timid, is because the interactions they have isn't as effective as it needs to be. So the way this dialogue model works, if you can see that, so it's a bit shiny, but in a nutshell, there's a conversation that we have in our heads, right? And so it basically goes, I see and hear something, I tell myself a story, I feel a certain way, and then I act. The way they put this here, they call it the pool of shared meaning. So when we're conversing or having dialogue with someone, we're using our voices and putting information out there into this, what they call a blue pool. And effectively, if I'm feeling really comfortable with whoever I'm talking to, I can say anything, right? You're really good friends or people that you trust. You can have a conversation about anything and not feel unsafe. That's the next point. Around there's a big black circle and it's got safety there. So safety is the moment I don't feel safe in having a certain conversation, I'll either go to silence or violence, as they call it on the outside. So think of fight or flight. Fight is obviously the violence piece. So that can look a number of ways. It doesn't have to be violent in the true sense of the word, but it can be controlling, labeling, and attacking. Obviously, attacking is the more verbal aggression that you would expect. But stuff like controlling and labeling is actually a violent, aggressive act in terms of how you communicate. So this is about communication, right? So if I'm feeling attacked and I'm quite an aggressive person, I've got that, what I call that red brain aggressive response, I'm more likely to come out on the attack, or I'm more likely to call someone an idiot or say something in an aggressive tone. And so effectively, I'm actually taking some people's safety away because they're feeling attacked because I'm aggressive towards them. So if you think of people who are aggressive, say to their spouses or people at work, we all know these people, right? There's people out there that you go, oh, Clint's not in a good mood today. I'm not going to have that conversation, so I'm going to sit over here in silence. Silence, again, is not just saying nothing, but it can be stuff like withdrawing, which is, don't want to be involved in this conversation, avoiding the conversation, or the other one is masking. So masking can look like, I'll sugarcoat it, someone comes up to you and says, oh, do I look fat in these jeans? And you're really thinking, oh shit, I don't want to answer that question. I'm going to say something different. Oh, no, you look fine. You look great. But I don't really mean it. So it's a conversation, and the conversation I'm having in my head is I see and hear them ask that question. I tell myself, I'm in trouble here.